Hi guys, welcome back. I hope everyone is feeling well and healthy and ready to get moving. There is a bee here. Anyway, if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad you're joining. My name is Linadia and I'll be a yoga teacher for the next half hour or so. So today's session is going to be a power session, as you can see in the title. We're just going to be working today. As always, of course, though, we are going to incorporate some stretching, some holisticness into the practice, but the focus is definitely going to be on strengthening. Make sure you've got your blocks and straps. You may need them. If you don't have blocks, you can use pillows or books, or in some cases a chair. And if you don't have straps, you can use a belt or a towel or something long and strappy. Okay. At some point in this video, we are going to be sliding. I don't know how possible it is for you to slide on your mat. So maybe try to be on a surface that underneath your mat is relatively slippery, and then maybe even you'll get some socks. But if that isn't a possibility for you, that's also fine. It'll just make the experience a little bit more. With all that being said, let's get started. So we're just going to get started here seated. We're going to start off as usual, just coming into the moment. We're going to start off as usual, just coming into the moment, coming into our space. Breathing. So we come into our space acknowledging where we are, and then we come closer and closer towards the body, and we acknowledge where it is that the body is. So we feel into the body, we feel the space beneath us, feel the ground supporting us. And as we feel into the body, we just allow ourselves to relax. Relaxing the body. So we're making sure that we're not holding any unnecessary tension throughout the body. So the shoulders are back and down. The head is straight up. You're not pushing out the chin, you're not bringing it in too much. Simply the chin parallel to the floor, natural. The hands are resting on the lap. You can have them in a mudra or not if you like. Legs are crossed. So when we relax into the body, we're still making sure that we're sitting up straight. So that's the point of not holding any unnecessary tension. So the unnecessary tension could be in the shoulders or in the jaw. But the rest of us, the necessary muscles to keep us up are still active. When we go into our Shavasana, then we have the opportunity to completely relax everything. Now that you have your body relaxed, let's come inward and let's just come into the present moment, focusing on the breath. Not forcing or changing anything just yet. Just really coming into the present moment, feeling grateful for this time that you are sitting here and just breathing. Feeling the air as it comes in through the nostrils and as it comes out. Feeling how the body moves with each breath, the belly expanding and retracting, And observe if there's any other part of the body that moves with the breath. If you'd like to set an intention here, please do. And then let's start to deepen the breath, expanding through the belly as we inhale. And as we exhale, we pull the belly back in towards the spine, and we allow the air to come out of the nose. So breathing in and out through the nose, deep and slow breaths. If you're familiar with your Ujjayi breath, you can start with that. Deep and slow breaths, enjoying the breath. If you'd like to, you can start with some rolls through the shoulder here. Maybe some rolls through the neck. Just loosening the body before we come out of our seated position. All right, we're going to come into a downward dog. So coming onto your hands and feet, and we come first into a plank to make sure that we've got our downward dog correct, and then we bring the hips all the way up, making sure the palms are all the way flat on the floor. You don't have any part of the hand coming off the floor. Your heels are pressing into the floor. Here we can walk the feet, so bending one leg at a time, taking some nice deep breaths. And in fact, you can really do whatever it is that you feel your body needs to get into this movement or into some looseness. You can move the hips side to side, you can move the head around, you can bend each arm. Listening to what it is that your body needs. Breathing. And then we're going to come back into a plank. Let's come down onto our elbows. So we come into an elbow plank, and we know that we need to have our hips nice and straight, the hips onto up, onto down, have the hips nice and straight. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to push up, and then we're going to come back down. Inhale up, exhale, come down. Inhale up, let's go, exhale, come down. Inhale up, 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 exhale, come down. Last one, inhale up, exhale, come down. And we inhale up, and then let's walk the feet closer. Now we come into a proper dolphin. You might find that your shoulders are already tired. You can maybe give them a break by coming into a normal downward dog. Breathe and then come back into a dolphin. So in our dolphin, we'll be from a downward dog, and we just take a step forward with both feet. And we press the chest towards the legs, pressing the heels down into the floor. Breathing, hold strong in your shoulders. Breathing. Let's push up and then walk the hands back towards the feet. Let's just have a hang here. Breathe. Allow the shoulders a bit of a rest. If you don't feel like your shoulders need a rest, you can go straight back into your dolphin. You can also practice some elbow stands there if you like. Breathing. All right, we're going to walk ourselves back forward. So we walk ourselves into a downward dog, and then we drop either one elbow at a time, or we drop both elbows. Find ourselves in a dolphin. Well, we need to step both feet in one more time. And then here, let's see if we can inhale, lift up, exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up, Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up. Make sure that the hands are steady. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. If you are doing one hand at a time, always remember to start with the opposite hand first. Let's walk the hands back. So we worked nicely through the shoulders. We really got into it quickly today, didn't we? All right, let's come onto the one side. Stretch. Bend the opposite leg so we can get a bit more of a stretch through the hamstring. Release the head. Breathe. And then let's straighten both legs. Go to the other side. We bend the opposite leg. Breathe. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then come back to center. If you'd like, you can grab onto your two-piece fingers. You can grab onto your big toes with your two-piece fingers. Pull yourself down. If you feel ready, otherwise just hanging here. And then inhale, let's bend the knees, bring the arms up. Come into our chair pose. Breathing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go from this pose into our yogic squat, our malasana. So from here, or to alternate between these two, you can choose either you will jump or you'll do one leg at a time. So if we were to jump, we were going to do exactly that. So we would keep our hands up most of the time and we jump. Come up and back down. Come up and back down. And then quite straightforward. If we're going to do one step at a time, same thing. Foot, 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 foot. But remember to alternate which foot starts, all right? Okay, let's do 4 or 8. So, arms up, inhale, and choose whichever variation you're doing. So this becomes more of like a high intensity. Breathe. And then let's take a rest in our malasana. Breathing. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then let's come back into our yogic squat. And then let's lift up the one foot and bring the ankle over onto the knee. Make sure you've got your block nearby or your chair. Breathing. Bring the hands to the heart. Let's twist. So bring the elbow, opposite elbow to the foot. Find your balance. And then what you're going to do here, grab your block if you need it. Place it under your hand. We're going to straighten this leg behind us. And then come into our half moon. Twisted half moon. So if you can't have a straight leg and have your hand on the floor, this is where you use your block. And let's swap hands. And then we open up the hips. Breathing. And then in this pose, you can choose whether you're going to look down to the bottom, to the side, or all the way up to the top. Woo! Make sure you've got your balance. Breathing. And then let's bend the leg, grab onto this back foot. Use your strap if you need it. And then we're going to lift our hands up off the floor. And we're going to come into a dancer. So you may need to adjust yourself. Breathing, kicking up that back leg. The hand is coming forward, looking forward. And then let's bring ourselves forward, bring the knee forward. Hug it in for just a second, and we're going to come straight back into our chair with the knee. And then back into our chair, and we go straight on to the other side. So first we place the knee, the ankle I mean. Exhale, hands to heart, and we twist. Remember to make sure you've got your block nearby. Breathing here. Feel how each glute is affected differently. The hand comes down to the floor. We stretch out the foot. we come into our twisted half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And then we're going to swap hands. So now into our traditional half moon, breathing. Remember, you can choose where your gaze is. And then grab onto your foot. Use your strap if you need it. Get a friend to help you maybe, if that's available to you. And then we're going to slowly come up. Keep your balance. And we kick that knee up into dancer. Breathing. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then we come forward. Hug that knee in so we can come back into our chair pose variation. And then chair one more time. Sit into it, breathe. Exhale into our forward fold. Take a breath here. Release the head. Let's walk the hands forward again into our downward dog. And we come back into our dolphin. So we step the feet one step in. We push the chest all the way back towards the thighs. We breathe. Pressing the heels down into the floor. And then coming back up into our downward dog. So we step the feet out one step. Inhale, bend the knees, look in between the hands. Exhale, step walker jump into a cross-legged position. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Have the hands behind us. Now this is where I said a slippery surface would be helpful, maybe some socks. So we're going to come into a reverse plank first. So we find ourselves here, really pushing the hips up as high as we can. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to let our feet slide. We're going to come back, let our feet slide, come back up. So some of our mats will allow us, some of our mats will not allow us. Breathe. And then if you want to make this one even more challenging, you're going to do that same thing. And then lift your feet up off the floor and then come back. Lift and come back. All right, let's do two more. And then let's release. Well done. Let's scooch forward a little bit on the mat, come onto our backs. And then we're going to do some crunches, some eagle crunches. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I'm going to call them that. Because we're going to go into our eagle pose with our arms and feet. So crossing the left knee over the right knee. The left arm comes under the right arm, sorry. And then we inhale, the feet come far away from one another, arms and feet. Exhale, we crunch up. We're going to do 5 on each side, or you can do double. Inhale out, exhale up, 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 inhale out. Let's swap now. So we inhale out, exhale up, inhale out, exhale up, inhale out, exhale up. 2 more, inhale out, exhale up, inhale out, exhale up. And then let's hug the knees in, give ourselves some love. Well done. What we're going to do now is we're going to roll ourselves up. And then from here, we're going to go into our boat pose. So You choose, either your hands are behind you for some support and you just have the feet here. The hands are either next to the feet, or you can bring them up, and then the legs can either be here or straightened. Hold it and breathe. Feel the strength in the core. Breathe. And then let's release, cross the feet. We're going to come back into a downward dog. I promise we're not going to do too much anymore. Inhale, let's come forward and drop. Bring yourself onto the tops of your feet. You can relax the knees onto the floor, or you can bring the knees up into our cobra or our up dog. Let's get a nice stretch through the abdomen. Breathing. Let's turn onto one side. And let's turn onto the other side. Looking up again. Exhale. Let's push back into a 2-second child's pose. And then let's inhale, come onto our hands and knees, just so that we can come into a pigeon pose. So we're going to bring the right foot up towards the left hand. We heel toe that foot behind us, all the way back. We inhale first, we push ourselves up. As we push ourselves up, we push this opposite hip down. And then as we exhale, we can come down onto our elbows. And if you choose, you can either straighten out the arms, relax the head onto the mat, or you can bend the arms, relax the head onto the arms, or you can have a block and relax your head onto your block. Whichever, or you can have a pillow. This is one of the situations where you can't use a chair. Feeling the stretch through the glutes. Breathing. Taking some nice deep breaths. Breathing into the muscle that you're feeling stretching. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then let's inhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, push ourselves up, tuck the back toes, and we bring ourselves back into our hands and knees, and we go straight to the other side. So we walk that foot back. Inhale, first we push ourselves up, and as we do so, we push the other hip down, and it's okay if the foot needs to come in a little bit. And then we exhale, come down onto our elbows, or we come down, straightening the arms, the head comes down, or onto the wrists, or onto a block. Up to you. Breathing, breathe into the stretch. Hopefully you can feel a stretch in your thigh here as well. And then let's bring our hands underneath the shoulders. We push ourselves up on our inhale. Lift up the back leg, coming back into hands and knees. And then we just come straight back onto our bums. And we're going to go into one last stretch before we completely relax. So coming down onto our back. And then let's hug in our right leg. We bring the knee directly above the hip, left hand to the outside. Exhale, we twist, and we look over towards the right. So the knee comes over towards the left, we look over towards the right. We're making sure that both shoulder blades are grounded and that we're breathing. If you'd like, you can straighten the leg here, sort of Makes the stretch just a little bit different. Breathing. And then let's inhale, come out. And then we straighten that leg and we hug in the other leg. The knee comes directly above. Right foot to the outside, exhale, and we twist. And we look over towards the left. Breathing. Remember, you can straighten out the foot if you like. And then let's bring ourselves over. And now we lay in our Shavasana. And you can choose if you're going to lay with your feet, with your legs out straight, with your soles of your feet together in your butterfly variation, or with the feet flat on the floor, knees resting against one another. And then, once you've chosen your variation, completely allowing the body to sink down into the floor. You can do a quick scan through the body to make sure that each and every part of the body is completely relaxed, sinking down into the floor. And now that you've relaxed through the body, let's relax through the mind. And we do so by focusing on the present moment. And in this present moment, all that we are doing is laying on the floor and breathing. Simply paying attention to the breath, feeling the air as it comes in and as it comes out of the nostrils, and feeling as the belly rises and falls with each breath. This video ends with me in Shavasana, so just stay here for as long as you like, and when you feel ready, come out. I thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this practice. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. Let me know that you liked it. And yeah, I will see you guys again next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week.